Story, a judge set to make a decision on a lawsuit challenging President Trump's deployment of federal troops in Chicago.
As we wait for an official ruling, Anita Blanton is at the courthouse in line for a seat in the courtroom. She has been there. She's joining us now by phone. Anita, what can you tell us about today's proceedings?
Well, as you said, it's certainly been a long day, but there were quite a few arguments that were made here. Of course, this is the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago asking for a ruling on whether the deployment of troops can be blocked. They want the judge to declare the Guard deployment illegal. They say that the conditions have not been met to justify this mobilization. The judge, of course, received this on Monday, but punted it to Thursday. She refused to make an immediate ruling here. But in that time, of course, we've seen clashes over the last month that are part of the defendant or the Trump administration's argument as to why they brought the National Guard here. They are here on what's called a Title 10 order, and that is where the president is able to call upon the National Guard in the case of an invasion, a rebellion, or the danger of one, or if the federal government cannot execute its laws with the regular forces. And the judge really took time today to go line by line through that. She had pages and pages of questions for the Trump administration's attorneys here. She asked, okay, well, what is a rebellion? Do you act in the danger of one? What exactly does that mean? What would be the National Guard's guardrails? Are there any guardrails if the federal government cannot execute its laws? So if people are being apprehended, if they are being arrested, if they are being prosecuted, does that not constitute executing laws? And with regular forces, she asked, what are regular forces? One of the things that the plaintiffs in this case, or the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago mentioned, is the fact that they received a lot of their evidence from law enforcement in this area, especially a conversation that took place via email between Illinois State Police and the Broadview Police and ICE over the weekend as to how well things went once ISP was brought in. Broadview Police only have about 25 officers. They asked for additional help. ISP came in full force over the weekend. And so there was an email exchange between all of them as to how well things went. So she says, does that not constitute regular forces? Does that not say that things went well and that you did not need additional military to come in? So she had plenty of questions. We're waiting, and I do believe this line is about to start moving, but I hear you have a question for me.
Anita, I was just going to ask, at one point, I know the government informed Judge Perry that the Guard would be positioned at the courthouse perhaps as early as tomorrow. I was just curious how that sat with the judge.
Not well at all. In fact, there was a press release from the Chief Justice first thing this morning saying that she did not request for there to be National Guard troops here as early as tomorrow. So that's another aspect of this when you talk about the National Guard, is whether they are requested for things versus whether they are showing up for things just upon the president's orders. And of course, the city of Chicago, the state of Illinois would argue that the only reason why he's sending them is because of their party affiliation, and that he's sending them. They said there is a pattern when you look at the places where they've been sent, whether it's LA, Washington, D.C., Oregon. If you look at the cases where they're trying to send them or have sent them, they are all Democratic-led cities. So, again, we're waiting on this decision. We are expecting it to be possibly in the 5 o'clock hour. The judge earlier said she was going to give the Trump administration a little bit more time to really put some parameters around, okay, if the Guard is federalized here, what are they doing? Where are they supposed to be? What are they allowed to do? What are they not allowed to do? And maybe, she said, if you had asked me, can they be at the Broadview ICE facility, which is a federal facility, conducting immigration enforcement very specifically, maybe we would have already had an answer by now. But because the ask was so broad, she needed some more parameters. She essentially wasn't willing to give them a blank check.
Okay, Anita, thank you for that. We look forward to hearing back from you once you get the word on what that decision is. Appreciate your time.
Sure, thank you.